wanted campaign.
Assalamu alaikum. You can see that there is an aeroplane right behind us. Today, us three are going to be getting on this aeroplane and not coming down it in the way that you would expect. We're actually going to be jumping out of an aeroplane, all for an amazing cause with Imam Hussein charity.
I was made only a slave for the ship of salvation, for the one who's not felt like rain. Why should my blood not fall?
Alhamdulillah, we made it.
But it was really cool. Again, inshallah, it's going to get the message over. What's the message?
The message is we're trying to build as many wells as possible. The Al-Atash campaign does exactly what it says on the tin. Al-Atash, we're trying to cure Al-Atash for people around the world in the name of Imam Hussein.
So guys, please donate generously. Let's try to save some people's lives with this. And any amount you can give will go a long way.
In the heart of London, Imam Hussein Media Group is on the brink of an extraordinary transformation. We are securing a new home, a sanctuary named after the Queen of Karbala, Lady Zainab Salamullahi alayhi, who commemorated Abi Abdullah al-Hussein and spread the message of Karbala. This new complex, spanning 515 square meters, will be the central hub for our 5 channels. A place for filming, editing, broadcasting and gathering as a community. With a cost of £1.5 million, we invite you to be part of this new chapter. Each square meter will cost £2,900, but every contribution counts. One share is £290, or even one brick is £50. Your donation will not only build this sanctuary, but also secure immense reward in this world and the hereafter. Every show produced, every message broadcasted will be a source of thawab for you and your families. By helping us secure this building, you are paving the way for millions to connect with Karbala and the message of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam through our channels. Join the ranks of the lovers of Aba Abdullah. Be part of this noble cause. Donate today and make a lasting impact on Shia media globally.
Have a duty towards the preservation and the propagation of the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Indeed, one of the best ways to work towards the reappearance of Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajul sharif is through promoting the values of Karbala. Imam Hussein Media Group is the only Shia television network that broadcasts globally in 5 different languages: Arabic, Farsi, Turkish, Urdu, and English. We are appealing to the lovers of Imam Hussein alayhi salam worldwide to support the channel such that it may continue its global operations. Imam Hussein Media Group is seeking 1,000 partners to pledge to a £14 contribution per month. This will allow the channel to sustain its operating costs as we continue to spread the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in multiple languages across the globe. You be a part of this great legacy and donate today. You can pledge in 2 ways. www.imamhussein3.tv/donate will take you direct to our donation page where you can pledge monthly, or you can call or WhatsApp us on 0044 793 9917163. Imam Hussein TV, your gateway to Karbala.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. I'm your host, Sayyid Muthanna Al-Musawi, and with me I am joined by Sheikh Ali. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you doing, Sheikhna?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, that's great to hear. That's great to hear, Sheikhna. That's great to hear. To the viewers at home, just a quick reminder on how this show works. It works in 3 steps, 3 very important steps. The first step being what your part is. You can do that. All you need to do is you send in your question. That's your part. You send in your question. My part is I ask the Sheikh, and the Sheikh, his part is he answers your question. So to do that first and most important step, all you need to do is either through WhatsApp send in your question, or call in directly and ask the Sheikh directly, or if you're watching on YouTube live, you can send in your questions in the comment section, and inshallah in all 3 scenarios the Sheikh will answer. So Sheikhna, let us begin. From YouTube, Salam alaikum Sheikh and Sayyid Muthanna Al-Musawi, wa alaikum assalam. How can I increase rank and stay far from bad during the month of Ramadan?
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. There's a famous prophetic sermon just before the month of Ramadan, possibly on the last Friday of the Sha'ban. The Prophet mentions about the virtues of this holy month and what brings the one close to Allah Azza wa Jalla, what acts. And then at the end of the sermon, he mentions that one of the best deeds in this holy month, al-wara' and maharim Allah, to refrain from the act of sins, to abstain from committing sins. This is the best way for the one to reach and to elevate into the positions of perfection, in which one can elevate and become mu'min or mu'minah as a result of abstaining from the acts of sin.
Yes.
And you should know them. I mean, how do we know this is haram or let's say not allowed, or even makruh in some cases, discouraged? Is to have the knowledge, which means you have to go and seek knowledge to be able to find out what is forbidden and what is obligatory and wajib. So you have to seek knowledge to be able to refrain from what's been told as haram and forbidden.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And on to the next question from YouTube. Is it a sin to delay a prayer to the end of its period without having a good excuse?
There's a narration seems to be telling us that if somebody intentionally delays his salah, I think Salatul Isha possibly, if not all the salawats, delays it to the very end of the time of the just before, let's say, the qada, then this person would not be given, let's say, a place in paradise, like mansion or whatever is mentioned, place where he owns it, but he'll become as a guest to the residents of the heaven and paradise. So it is a bad habit, of course, discouraged for the one to delay their prayers and salah so late intentionally. So the best way for the one is to schedule his time with the salah, as you schedule your time with the time of the schools of your kids, with the time of your work time, to be 9 sharp at work, or to leave work at 5 sharp again, and to time yourself for let's say breaks and lunch times. So make sure that you schedule your time with the salah time. That's the best way. And you'll see inshallah the blessings and the barakah in this dunya before the akhirah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, was the third shahada, Ashhadu anna Aliyan waliyullah, present in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Yes, indeed, in the time of the Ghadir, when the Holy Prophet said, "Man kuntu mawlah fa Ali mawlah." In that time, this shahada was raised for the salah time. I think by Salman, if I'm not wrong. He raised the shahada, and of course some companions complained to the Prophet that what's this addition in adhan, and the Prophet affirmed it and confirmed it.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. To the viewers at home, we are roughly 10 minutes into the episode. Just a quick reminder on what you need to do. You need to send in your questions now. Seek knowledge as best as possible. You have nothing to lose. Everything you can do here is to gain knowledge. So don't hesitate, don't be shy, just send in your questions. And to do that most important step, all you need to do is either through YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, send it in the comment section, or if you're watching on our channel, you can call in directly and ask the Sheikh, or if you would like, you can send in through our WhatsApp, and inshallah I will ask the Sheikh and the Sheikh will answer. Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, my wife wants me to do a Sahaba role play. Is this permissible?
I'm not sure what he means or she means by the Sahaba role play, but we have in our centers, Husseyniyat, they do role play for, let's say, Ali Akbar alayhi salam in Muharram, in Safar, other blessed occasions, they would do some kind of acting and play. So they would wear some kind of special clothes, Islamic clothes.
Okay.
And then they would act. That's fine, as long as there's no haram involved in these acts and plays.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, if I have gambled in my past, am I allowed to use the money?
Well, that's a forbidden money. You cannot use it. You have to ask permission from your marājiʿ. Contact the office of your marājiʿ, talk to the representative and see what can be done, because this is forbidden money. You cannot consume and use a forbidden money gained from haram source.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, is health exercising something recommended by the Ahlul Bayt?
I've said before that, yes, in terms of horse riding, it's mentioned in the hadith, swimming, archery, these are encouraged in somehow in the narration.
Okay.
Teach your sons these types of sports.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, if Imam Ali and Umar were to race, who would win?
You see, the Holy Quran states, أَلَا أَنَّ حِزْبُ اللَّهِ هُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ. The party of Allah, those who are in the side of Allah, would be the winners. And definitely Imam Ali alayhi salam, Ahl Bayt, according to this famous narration, Kitab Allah, وَعِتَّةَ أَهْلِ الْبَيْتِ, that the Prophet leaves two weighty things, the Book of Allah and his progeny, and as part of the progeny alayhi salam, and his Ahl Bayt, of course, they are the winners always in dunya and akhirah, especially the ones who behold on the rope of Ahl Bayt. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. حبل Allah, according to the Ahl Bayt's tafsir, are Al Muhammad salamullah alayhim. If you behold on the rope, you will never deviate.
Inshallah, thank you very much, Sheikhna. To the viewers at home, just a quick reminder, send in your questions, do not be shy. You can do that very quickly by scanning the QR code right below over here. Scan it and you will be taken to our WhatsApp, or if you're not bothered to take out your phone, all you need to do is just type out the WhatsApp number, which is over here, and you can send a question through there, or on this phone number over here. Am I pointing correctly? Yes, I am. On this phone number, you can call in directly and ask the Sheikh, and the Sheikh will answer it there and then. You'll get your answer very quickly. You will skip all this queue and you will get your answer there and then. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions in the comment section, and inshallah, in all three scenarios, you will get your answer. Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, is it haram to drink slightly contaminated alcohol if it is medicine?
You see, initially, consuming alcohol for any reason is forbidden. And it seems to be there's a narration that says Allah did not put some kind of treatment or cure within the haram food or drink. So there are alternatives always. We have medicines made from plants, from vegetables, from other sources that can heal the one. So rather than going back to the haram substance.
Okay. What if it was like one of your only options, Sheikhna? Like, what if it was the only option that you have in front of you, and you had to go with it?
That is a permission from the Ahkam SOS, from the marājiʿ, when it comes to as the last resort, and that would be some kind of life-threatening situation that you have to use this kind of medication. That, of course, it goes back to the marājiʿ's permission.
Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And From YouTube, is it haram when someone says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a personality?
You see, Allah Azza wa Jal has essence, that. And His essence, as mentioned, عين ذاته, in the books of Tawheed and Aqa'id and Ilm al-Kalam, that the essence of Allah Azza wa Jal is that all the attributes are all one in His essence. عين ذاته. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Sami' Alim, He's all knower, all hearer, for example, it doesn't mean that He hears outside of His essence like we do. So, or He needs something to be able to hear, or to talk, or let's say, let's say to Sami' Alim, or the knowledge is outside. It's all in Dhatullah Azza wa Jal, عين ذاته. So we cannot compare ourselves with Allah's essence, because that's something, ليس كمثله شيء, as the Quran says. Nothing is like Allah Azza wa Jal.
Of course, thank you very much, Shaykhna. And from YouTube, I heard that Umar was one of the greatest runners in Islam. Is this true?
I'm not sure if this is in our sources, but they've narrated many narrations about the Ahlul Sunnah, about the virtues of the Sahaba and their leaders. So that's their hadith if they have so narrated. But anyhow, we had some of the companions which they fought along the Prophet. Some of them were fighters, they had skills in fighting, for example, to fight, to be able to lead an army.
Okay, thank you very much, Shaykhna. And from WhatsApp, am I allowed to name my pet Umar or Abu Bakr?
You see, in terms of namings, you have to go back and to see what's been named in Urf, let's say, when you ask, for example, your friends, what is the usual names are named, these animals, then you can name them.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And from YouTube, I have Qadha Salat Ayat pending. How many Salat Ayat to be recited for each year missed? This is from YouTube.
Well, if let's say the sign or this ayah was actually what is known as eclipse, moon eclipse. If it was a full eclipse, then of course, and you haven't prayed it, then you have to do the qada. If it was a partial eclipse and you missed it, you don't have to do the qada for that.
Okay.
Yes, unless it's full
eclipse. Okay.
Eclipse, then you have to do the qada if you haven't done it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Shaykhna. And from WhatsApp, is there any reason self-pleasure can be halal?
Not at all. The pleasure should come from, or the arousal of the lust should come out from the opposite gender who is halal to you, like a wife, for example.
Okay.
And not by yourself or by the haram means by tools and toys and so forth.
Okay, thank you very much, Shaykhna. And from YouTube, why can't you say the third shahada in the salah? Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi has said, if I am not mistaken, that you can say wa Ali ni'mal wali. Can you please clarify why you cannot just say the third shahada?
As the brother mentioned, that you can say it in salah according to the opinion of Fatullah Shirazi. But others would not accept it.
Okay.
They would consider this as addition in salah. And of course, there's a discussion about the sanad of the hadith, the chain of the narrators, would they accept it or don't accept it. So opinions that differ here with the ulama. Some would accept it, some would not accept it. So this something goes back to the experts in this field, and they are the mujtahideen who can argue with this issue and issue a verdict or fatwa with this regard.
Okay, thank you very much, Shaykhna. And from YouTube, Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Greetings coming from the Philippines. Wa alaikum assalam. There isn't really a question here, but I do hope you do send a question to all the viewers at home. Sending a question is very easy. All you need to do is either through our WhatsApp, which is the number below, or you can call in directly, or through our YouTube comment section, and inshallah the Shaykh will answer in all three scenarios. Shaykhna, from YouTube, is it haram to drink something that contains a very small amount of alcohol?
As I've said, with regard to the alcohol, if you, let's have this scenario. If you drop a drop of, let's say, blood or something impure, even alcohol, inside a cup of, or a can of Coke, let's say, drink, fizzy drink, then that can of drink or even water would be becomes impure. So we have now an issue of impurity within this drink. You've added a very small substance, which is an impure drop inside this can or cup. Then you cannot consume it. That's the issue.
Yeah. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, Salaam Alaikum. I have a question about prayer. If my cat steps on my mat, does it invalidate my prayer?
No, it doesn't. But you have to make sure that if there's any hairs on your clothes,
okay,
and you see them, you have to remove them before Salah. And if you see them inside the Salah, you have to remove them and continue with your Salah.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, why do people bow their heads and put their right hand on their heads after hearing the name of our Imam Muhammad al-Mahdi, Ajalallahu Farajah Sharif?
That's to do with the narration that Imam al-Rida alayhi salam, when they mentioned the specific title of the Imam al-Mahdi Ajal Farajah Sharif, he stood up and he put his hands on his head. So we follow the teachings of Imam al-Rida alayhi salam with this regard.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, is it haram to break your fast without a date?
No, date is something recommended to consume when you're fasting, but it doesn't have to do nothing to with breaking your fast. That's not even part of the invalidation of fast, which is mentioned I think 11, 12. Date is just something good for your stomach, prepares your stomach for the next meal, for example, gives energy and so forth. So yes, recommended maybe if we can find something mentioned in some narrations. But even if you don't eat it, you just, let's say you open your fast with the water, that should be suffice.
That should suffice. Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. To the viewers at home, we will now be going on our break. We are halfway through the episode, so make sure during the break you send in your questions. I believe before we do go on a break though, the Sheikh has a couple of words that he would like to say.
Yes, indeed. Still some centers celebrate the Imam Mahdi's birthday, Ajjallahu Farajah Sharif. There's an interesting hadith by Hudayfa, one of the good companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he says, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله المهدي رجل من ولدي. Al-Mahdi alayhi salam is one of my sons. So he is the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. كأنه كوكب دري. He is like a shining planet. يملأ الأرض عدلا. He would fill the earth with justice. كما ملئت جورا. As it was filled with tyranny, oppression. يرضى بخلافته أهل الأرض. The people of the earth, when he appears and he takes control over the earth and he becomes the leader of the earth, the people of the earth would be pleased with his khilafah and leadership, unlike the past leaderships, as we saw. There was arguments, disapproval, disagreements with some of the khulafa. There was even fight and battles. Some people did not give bay'ah to some khulafa. Some even betrayed the Khalifa after they giving bay'ah. But Imam al-Mahdi, the people of the earth would be happy because he would spread and fill the earth with justice and fairness.
Of course.
وَأَهْلُ السَّمَاءِ. Even the people, or let's say the residents of the heavens or the sky, like could be malaika, other creations, jinn and so forth, would be happy and pleased with the leadership of Imam Mahdi salamullah alayh. And even the hadith says, وَالطَّيْرُ فِي الْجَوْ. Even the bird in the sky would be happy and pleased with the khilafah of the Imam, because the justice even would reach the animals of the earth and the sky. They would benefit from the blessings of the Imam's appearance and the spread of his justice and fairness to the world.
Ahsan, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sheikhna, for those great words. To the viewers at home, as I have just said, we will now be going on a break, but make sure to send in your questions throughout the break, and inshallah we see you after the break.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of
Is it
scholars at
permissible to
home.
plant trees by or
Was
over
Islam
the graves?
established based on peace and
Is it permissible
non-violence?
to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim
Is there
countries?
an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 09 2155.
For those interested in an Islamic law book by Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi, please WhatsApp the Ahkam SOS team at the following number to place your order today: +44 7415 09 2155. The Islamic law book, available exclusively in hard copy, contains religious questions answered by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi. Order your hard copy today. For those interested in an Islamic law book.
Welcome back after the break to Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. I hope that during the break you managed to send in your questions. If you have not done so, please send them in now. You can do it in three very quick ways. Either on our WhatsApp, send them in there, or on our YouTube comment section, send it there, or you can call in and ask directly. And inshallah, in all three scenarios, the Sheikh will answer. Sheikhna, from YouTube, Salaam alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
I was in julus in prayer and I was doing tashahhud. I forgot if I was in the third or fourth rak'ah. I continued my tashahhud and ended my salah. I then repeated my salah just in case. Is this fine to do so?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We have doubts or shak in which they are correct, and there's a cure for it. In other words, you can treat it somehow. So, for example, the shak between, as mentioned, 3 and 4, 2 and 3, where you have to pray Salatul Ihtiyat. You end your salah and pray, Rak'at al-Ihtiyat, 1 rak'ah of Ihtiyat, just to fulfill any missing rak'ah that you might have missed.
Yes.
In reality. So that Rak'at al-Ihtiyat would fulfill any missed rak'ah.
Okay.
So that's the solution for
That's
us,
the
not
solution.
to repeat the salah again.
Okay. Okay.
Because the batil shak or doubt is when you make a shak between the first and second rak'ah of each prayer.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, is having too big of a male private part a valid reason for divorce?
You see, these are, you have to go back to the marājiʿ, taqleed, and to the Ahkam SOS or disregard to be able to distinguish and to define if this is a valid reason by the wife to be able to divorce, to ask for the divorce. That's the best way.
That's the best way.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, is it true that Imam Ali alayhi salam named 3 of his sons, named 3 of his children, Abu Bakr, Umar and Uthman? How do we respond to such questions?
Initially, the Imam named, yes, one of his son, Uthman. But he said that I named him due to the Uthman ibn Mad'un, rahimahullah.
Okay,
who
completely
died in
different
Medina.
Uthman.
Yes, he was a good companion of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He died in the early years of the migration from Mecca to Medina, and he's buried now in Baqi' I think in next to the prophetic shrine in Baqi' cemetery. So that's the reason. And number 2, these names were common in that time, as I've said before many times, that people used to call their sons and daughters, let's say, these names. Even some, you have some narrations that mentions the names of the ashab of Imam Sadiq and Baqir alayhim salam. Yazid, Muawiyah bin Wahab, Umar ibn Yazid. The Imam says, Minna Ahl Bayt. Umar ibn Yazid, one of the Imam Baqir or Sadiq's companion. The Imam says, Minna Ahl Bayt. He's one of us, Ahl Bayt. His name is Umar ibn Yazid, rahimahullah. A good companion of the Prophet, of the Imam Baqir or Sadiq alayhim salam. These names were common. Later on, because of the situations that happened, the change of the names happened gradually by calling the sons Hassan, Hussein, Ali and so forth.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, if I ejaculated to someone I know, would they get any sins?
This is not the right way for the one. For example, if that individual is a wife, then that's a different story in terms of the pleasure that he seeks from the wife. But other than that, of course, if it's somebody who you have no aqd and nikah contract, of course that's a sin. To expose yourself with the pleasure and lust of somebody who is not halal to you, in other words.
Okay,
that's
understood,
a sin.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. If the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa died without any wealth, then how was he able to take care of his wives during his lifetime?
Of course, I mean, if you look at the Prophet's life, he left this world with huge debts.
Yes.
That Imam al-Islam paid those debts when he was in Mecca, and possibly after in Mecca, in Medina. That he, after the migration, there were things that the Prophet ﷺ left in Medina that Imam Ali took over before he migrates. And then when he passed away in Medina, also Imam Ali al-Islam, as the Prophet said to him, أنت تغضيني وتنجز عداتي. So Ali is the one who would pay the debts of the Rasulullah, and the Rasulullah took these debts and loans, let's say, to pay for the Islam and Muslimin.
Yes.
Not for his own pleasure and interest. So in which Imam Ali al-Islam, he paid all these debts after his demise, paid it back, in other words. So the Prophet died as a poor individual. You know, he hadn't had any. He didn't left huge wealth like other caliphs. When they came afterwards, they left this world. Read the history from the non-Shia books, that they left in a way that they broke the blocks of the gold with axes. Read the history of some of the khulafa, so-called khulafa. They left the world with huge money they took from Baytul Mal for themselves.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, Sheikhna, can you clarify the children of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, as there are many different narrations?
Of course, the Imams in overall alayhi salam, that they had many children, and this is not something bad or something not pleasant. You know, Rasulullah said in the hadith sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that, you know, tanakahu tanasalu, that have more children, you know, but that I would be, you know, the judgment, I would be proud to have people, you know, coming, and my ummah is the most populated ummah, in other words, in the hereafter, in Qiyamah.
Yes.
So this is something encouraged, to have more children as a result. So the ummah they had, yes, over 15, 20, which is of course recommended, especially the Imam alayhi salam, in which the Sadat today, millions of Sadat go back to those sons of the Imam alayhi salam, Hassani, Husseini, Musawi, Taqawi, Naqawi. It's a pleasure to see those Sadat today walking with the barakah of the Imam alayhi salam, and on top of them Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, when a girl or a boy become baligh, what calendar should we count on, Islamic calendar or the English calendar?
Yes, in the Islamic calendar.
Islamic calendar.
Yeah, lunar calendar. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, is it wajib to pray Salat al-Ayat that I wasn't aware of, even after the eclipse happened?
As I've said, if it's a complete eclipse, then you have to do the qada. If you haven't done it partially, you don't have to do the qada.
And from YouTube, Salaam alaikum, Sheikh. I owe 14 years of missed salah. How can I make this up with ease?
The best way, as I've mentioned before, that when you pray your obligatory daily salah, you pray after each obligatory salah, the missed salah. So for example, after Salat al-Subuh, you pray 2 rak'ah as a qada every day, of course. And then Dhuhr, Asr, when you finish them, again pray Dhuhr, Asr as qada. Maghrib, Isha, same thing. That would ease the situation. And if you have time, spare time, let's say during the month of Ramadan, in the evening, you're awake till Fajr time, then you can also do the qada in that
Yes.
midnight time, for example.
Okay, understood.
That would help.
Yeah, that would. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, when saying the takbir at the very beginning of a prayer, but the person doubts whether they said it correctly and repeated it again, would that be an additional takbir?
No, you have to make sure that you've said the takbir, otherwise you have to say it again.
Yes.
So that's needed to be said
Okay.
and to be sure that you've said the takbir.
And it wouldn't count as an additional takbir. It would just be.
He doesn't know
repeating-
because he's in doubt. You have to make sure that you're certain that you've done the takbir to start your salah. Otherwise, you can't start the salah without
Okay.
takbir. It's one of the arkan,
Yes.
basis of the salah. Yeah.
Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, do I have to redo Tasbihat al-Zahra if I have any doubts in it?
If you have doubt, you can do it again. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, is it permissible to go to a Muslim wedding that has music?
You see, what is forbidden now, anywhere, not just the weddings, now you go to restaurants, there's music, shopping centers, some shops, sports shops, they have music. What is important that when you attend these places, you do not listen to the lyrics and the melody and the tune of the music. So to listen in the background, as I've said before, in other words, you don't pay attention to the music. That is allowed. So you can go, but with the condition that you don't listen, and you don't join the haram if there was haram,
Yeah.
like dancing, for example. Let's say singing and so forth.
Yes, of course.
You don't get involved in that.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, Salam. What to do if my parents tell me not to fast or pray in my office? I am 24 years old.
I mean, the obligatory acts or the wajib acts is upon the mukallaf himself and not his parents. It's got nothing to do with the parents when it comes to salah and ibadat and the wajib. You are responsible, you have to observe it. Nothing to do with the others.
Okay.
You cannot, I think it's a Quranic verse also, that if it's to do with haram or disobey Allah Azza wa Jalla, فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا, do not obey them. Yes, be good with them. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, but when it comes to disobedience of Allah, فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا. So don't obey them when it comes to haram or to neglecting the wajib acts.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, if someone in Ramadan wakes up 10 minutes before Fajr while in the state of janaba, he performs tayammum since he does not have time for ghusl, is his fast valid?
If he or she thinks that it's not going to be enough for the ghusl, then of course tayammum is the alternative, because you know that if you go to use the water, by that time the adhan is called, it's not going to have the right time to perform the ghusl. Yes, tayammum is a substitute, but if there's a time, I think 10 minutes would be enough, more than enough.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do tayammum.
Quick,
Should be fine. 10 minutes before Fajr adhan. Should be fine. Enough.
Understood.
Yes.
Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, can we do la'na on Aisha and Umar, etc., in front of Sunnis when they curse us?
You see, we have to use the right method and in the right place and the right time with regards to observing either the tabarra or taqiyya. You have to use it in the right time, in the right place, in the right location. So it depends. When you meet the other side, you have to initially use, as the Quran says, وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Use the best methods and means to have dialogue and debate with them. بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. The idea is to attract them towards the right path. So we have to see when we should use a specific method and way with the other side, then we use it. So again, it goes back to the wisdom, hikmah, and using the right method with this regard. You have to be very smart with this to be able to attract the other side towards the right path.
Of course, of course. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, is the path to study Hawza a full-time thing? Is it expensive, or can we do it on the side of our main job. Can you highlight what a beginner has to do to enroll in this path?
Well, it's not an easy journey. Let's be honest with everyone. You will be facing lots of difficulties. This is something feasible by those who went to the Hawza. There's a very small amount of salaries paid to the students of the Hawza. You can work beside, but if you want to be knowledgeable and to spend your time in seeking knowledge, you have to give all the time. There's a saying in Arabic that the knowledge says to you, أعطني كلك, give me all your efforts and time. أعطيك بعضي, I would give you some of the knowledge. That's what the knowledge says to the student. So the more you put efforts, the more you gain knowledge and you can serve your community. It's a difficult path, but this is the path of the ulama, the past ulama.
Yes.
When you read their history and the stories that sometimes they didn't have the money to buy a candle to be able to revise. So they used to revise outside under the moonlight. Exactly. Imagine how they became great scholars and they wrote these books and compiled the hadith in this way, in this manner. So it's a difficult journey, but of course the result would be great in dunya and akhirah, inshallah, especially the akhirah, a great reward. Fawzan azima.
Of course, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, is it necessary for a Muslim to be able to read the Quran fluently in Arabic, or is it sufficient to read it in English while making an effort to read it in Arabic as best as possible?
The obligatory Quran is the ones that need in Salah. So Hamd and Surah, that's the wajib, that you have to learn and be able to pronunciate correctly. That's the minimum required. Otherwise, very recommended, encouraged for the one to recite the Holy Quran, outside the Salah, memorize it if they can, especially in the coming month of Ramadan, again, to recite Juzu each day, if they can. The best way is to listen to the Quran reciters and follow them. That's the best way for the one to learn and even memorize, inshallah.
Inshallah. And from WhatsApp, is it true that Aisha taught men how to perform ghusl?
It is mentioned about the ghusl, yes, in the books of Sahih. You can go back and find out that she taught some Sahaba how to do the ghusl janaba, and they accept it. Indeed,
And from WhatsApp, how factual is the statement, إنه رجل نزل بعائشة?
Yes, as I've said, it's in the Sahih. If you go back, you'll find the hadith there, or the narration there, that the men used to go to her house and learn the ahkam and so forth.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And thank you very much, Sheikhna, for answering all those questions and bearing with us. Thank you to all the viewers for asking these questions, whether they were Islamic or anything really. It was great for you to send in those questions, and inshallah you can send in more of your questions on our next episode, which is next Wednesday, this Wednesday actually, at 7 p.m. So make sure to tune in on that day, and inshallah we see you then. This is it for this episode of Ahkam SOS, and inshallah we see you in our next episode. Ma'a salam.
We're going! IHC! Imam Hussein Charity